Be me, 41, lead software engineer. Name's Mike, or whatever, doesn't matter. Been at the same mid-sized tech shop like 12 years. Not FANG, not flashy, just a steady company that sells boring enterprise software to other boring companies. Money's decent. Work is hard enough to stay awake. Used to be full of actual adults. My career rulebook was always simple. Show up, write clean code, solve the ticket, collect check. Go home. No ladder climbing cosplay, no Slack drama, no personal brand. Just ship good stuff and disappear for like a decade. It worked perfectly because my old boss Rick was the kind of manager you forget exists. Used to code back in the day. Understood what "this will take time" means. His whole management style was hit your deadlines and don't make me babysit you. If the sprint was on track and the code didn't look like spaghetti, he didn't care. Didn't care if you rolled in at 9:07. Didn't care if you wore a hoodie and sneakers. Didn't care if you ate lunch at your desk like a raccoon. Team ran like a machine. Couple senior devs, me included, some solid mid-level guys, 2 juniors who actually had potential. We had women on the team too. One of them, Rachel, is hands down the best database architect I've ever seen. Nobody gave a crap about anything except competence. Felt like a real meritocracy. Then Rick announces he's retiring. We throw the usual lame office party. Sheet cake, awkward speeches, "We'll miss you," blah blah. Then everyone just quietly waits to see who replaces him. We're all hoping they promote from inside. Maybe one of the other senior guys, someone who knows the code base. Instead, we get Lauren. She starts sometime early summer. First email introduces her as Director of Engineering Enablement. None of us know what the hell enablement even means. But it's the first of a whole vocabulary list that's about to ruin my life. Day 1. She schedules a mandatory 9 a.m. Synergy welcome. Rick's meetings were stand-ups, short, boring, useful. 15 minutes and you're free. Lauren's meeting is in the big conference room. There's a fruit tray. There's expensive coffee with handwritten labels. Red flag. Immediately, she stands up like she's hosting a talk show. "Hi everyone, I'm Lauren. My pronouns are she/her, and I'm so excited to join you on this journey." Journey. It's an office, not the Oregon Trail. Then she goes around the table and makes everyone introduce themselves. Name, role, and pronouns. Air turns to pure cringe. Older guys who've been coding since dial-up just stare like they're trying to parse a foreign language. Our infrastructure dude, Gary, is sitting there looking like someone unplugged him. He finally goes, "I'm Gary. I keep the servers alive." Lauren does this tight little smile that's somehow polite and insulting at the same time. "And your pronouns, Gary?" He blinks twice, like his brain is buffering. I'm a he?" She nods, like she just coached him through a breakthrough. Meeting drags on forever. Like legit an hour and 20 minutes. We don't cover a single project. No deadlines, no blockers, no technical anything. Just vision, safe space, leveraging diverse perspectives, new paradigm of success. By the end, my skull feels like it's full of bees. Next few weeks are a slow-motion derailment. First casualty is our efficient stand-ups. Gone. Replaced with daily morning check-ins where you have to share one professional win and one personal feeling. So every morning is now forced group therapy with laptops. Most guys just mumble, "Fixed a bug, feeling fine." But Lauren won't let it slide. "Fine isn't a feeling, Tom. Can you go a little deeper with us?" Kill me. Productivity starts dipping because the first chunk of every day is wasted on this nonsense. Then come the vibes updates. She gets approval to repaint the whole area. Our normal gray walls get replaced with loud teal and purple, like a daycare decided to pivot into corporate life. Posters go up everywhere with inspirational quote garbage. Teamwork makes the dream work. Be the change. My favorite is one giant word. empower, over a stock photo of a woman laughing while eating salad. Rachel and I make eye contact across the room like we're both hostages. Silent, mutual suffering. Real trouble starts when Lauren decides she needs to be involved in actual engineering. Problem is, she's not technical at all. Her background is management, HR, and something called culture strategy, which I assume is just adult hall monitor. She doesn't understand what we do, but she has extremely confident opinions about it. Anyway, she starts sitting in on technical planning. We're deep in an API architecture discussion, whiteboard full of diagrams, and she cuts in like, "Just checking, is this approach inclusive?" Inclusive API. Sure. Then a critical server issue hits one morning. We're trying to trace a failure before customers notice, and she suggests a 5-minute mindfulness break so we can center ourselves. Center D's nuts. We're on fire here. It becomes obvious she doesn't see her job as helping us work. She sees her job as correcting us, especially the men. Every comment from a guy is treated like a potential HR incident. Speak directly? You're aggressive. Point out a logic hole? You're tearing people down. Explain a complex issue? Congrats, you're mansplaining. Meanwhile, the women on the team can do no wrong. She praises them constantly, even for trivial stuff. Great job leveraging synergy in that email, Amanda. It's patronizing to them and insulting as hell to the rest of us. Most rage-inducing moment hits like 2 months into Lauren's little kingdom. We're getting hammered by a nasty database slowdown. Whole platform feels like it's moving through syrup. Big client breathing down our neck. Hard deadline, no wiggle room. We call a meeting to figure out a fix before everything catches fire. I'm up late the night before, half-caffeinated, scribbling out a plan on a notepad. Simple, practical stuff. Rework a few indexes. Identify the worst queries. Push certain reads to a replica so the main DB can breathe. Nothing fancy, just a clean, stop the bleeding solution. Next morning, conference room, whiteboard ready. Everyone looks tired and annoyed because we all know this is serious. I stand up with the marker and start laying it out. Step 1. Find the slowest queries and confirm what's choking. Step 2. Add these indexes on these tables. Step 3. Route this chunk of traffic over here to the read replica. I'm halfway through explaining why it fixes the bottleneck when Lauren interrupts. "Mike, hold on." Room goes quiet like somebody unplugged the air conditioner. She stares at me like I just kicked a puppy. "I'm feeling like your tone is a little forceful." Forceful in an emergency meeting. We want this to be a collaborative space where everyone feels comfortable sharing. Right now, you're dominating the conversation. I just stand there with the marker in my hand like an idiot. I'm not dominating, I'm explaining the fix. She keeps going. "It feels like you're telling us what to do, not discussing with us. This top-down communication can discourage diverse input." I honestly don't know what to say. I wasn't being harsh, I was being clear. This isn't a book club discussion. The database is dying. So I just sit down, completely deflated. Awkward silence hangs over the table. Nobody wants to talk because nobody wants to get scolded next. Then Rachel clears her throat. "Lauren, if I could maybe build on what Mike was saying." Lauren lights up like it's Christmas morning. "Of course, Rachel, please." Rachel walks up to the board, erases a couple of my lines, draws the exact same thing back, just angled a little different. Then she explains my plan, my exact plan, word for word and meaning. Only difference is she wraps it in soft pillows. What if we consider taking a look at the slow queries first? Maybe we could explore creating a few new indexes in these areas. I'm just wondering if diverting some read traffic to a replica could be an option. It's my solution, wearing a cardigan and speaking in question marks. She finishes, and Lauren looks like she's about to clap. "Yes, Rachel, team, that's exactly what I mean. A truly collaborative, inclusive approach to problem solving. Wonderful. Let's move forward with that. And just like that, the fix is now Rachel's idea. I sit there watching it happen in real time. Rachel catches my eye afterward, gives me this look that's half apology, half, "Are you seeing this crap too?" She knows what happened. Everyone in that room knows what happened. But in Lauren's brain, a good idea from a guy is aggression. The same idea from a woman is brilliance. After that, I basically mentally clock out. I still do my job. I still write code, squash bugs, hit deadlines, keep the lights on. But I stop talking in meetings. Stop volunteering suggestions. Stop trying to help the group. If someone needs something, I'll help them one-on-one at their desk. Quietly, no audience, no risk of getting publicly slapped for having an opinion. A couple other senior guys do the same thing. We all just go into survival mode. Meetings turn into these weird, silent events. Lauren talks. A few of her chosen favorites talk. Everyone else stares at the table and prays it ends. Output starts slipping because the people who actually ship stuff aren't engaged anymore. Lauren doesn't notice, or doesn't care. Her updates to upper management are all sunshine and rainbows. Amazing culture shift, transformative environment, incredible progress. Months go by like that. Office mood turns grim. Everyone just wants to be invisible. We keep thinking it can't get worse. We're wrong. One Tuesday afternoon, calendar invite hits everyone. Mandatory department-wide meeting, 4 p.m. Subject line, a bold new initiative. Great. We shuffle into the big conference room like prisoners. Lauren's up front by the projector. She's smiling wider than I've ever seen her smile, like she knows she's about to do something horrible and can't wait. Team, she starts. I'm so incredibly proud of the progress we've made in building an inclusive and supportive environment. Click. First slide is the usual stock photo. Diverse group of people laughing in a glass conference room. But the work is never truly done. We have to strive to do more, to be better allies, and to dismantle systemic structures that hold people back. I can feel my soul trying to crawl out of my body through my ears. She pauses like she's expecting applause. Dead silence. Then she hits us with it. That's why I'm thrilled to announce that starting next month, we're launching our Male Allyship and Mentorship Initiative. She holds the pause again, dramatic, like it's a movie trailer. Still no applause. Click. Next slide is bullet points. She explains it like it's some noble mission. Address historical imbalance in professional development. Translation: all the men are getting assigned extra unpaid work. Every single guy on the engineering side is required to be a mentor. Every newer junior woman gets paired with a male mentor. We're supposed to help them navigate the company, learn new skills, advance their careers. Lauren frames it like we should be grateful for the opportunity to give back. Then someone asks the obvious question. What's the time commitment? Lauren's cheerful as hell. Oh, it's very manageable. Only a minimum of about 3 hours per week. And of course, that will be on your own time. Evenings, weekends, lunch breaks, whatever works for you and your mentee. Low murmur spreads through the room. Mandatory unpaid labor in our personal time. Another guy raises his hand. Is there a similar mentorship program where women mentor new male employees? Lauren actually laughs. Short, sharp, dismissive laugh. Why would we do that? Lauren says it like the answer is obvious, and we are all idiots for even asking. The entire point is correcting an imbalance. Women face systemic barriers every day. Men don't need that kind of support. This is about men stepping up and doing the work of allyship. She's looking at us like a teacher staring down a classroom of dumb kids. The sheer unfairness of it hits me like a slap. Because it's not really mentorship. It's not really helping anyone. It's punishment. Salt the earth payback for the crime of being born male. Mandatory free labor as penance for sins we didn't commit. My brain flashes back to the whiteboard fiasco. All the times I got shut down, talked over, treated like a threat just for being direct. This isn't an opportunity. It's a middle finger with HR branding on it. Lauren wraps up her slide deck like she just delivered a TED Talk. I know this is a big change, but I'm confident you'll all embrace this chance to grow as individuals and as a team. We're building a better, fairer workplace for everyone. Then she reaches down and pulls out a stack of papers. Now, I just have a simple commitment pledge for everyone to sign. Total formality, just for HR to document participation. I'll pass it around. It's one sheet with a chunky paragraph of corporate sludge. Something about being a devoted mentor, championing equity, supporting the initiative, and a line at the bottom for your name and signature. She hands the stack to a guy in the front row. Clipboard starts its slow trip around the big table. I watch it move person to person like a bomb getting passed around. And I watch faces as it lands in front of them. Resignation, defeat, anger they swallow because they need the paycheck. One by one, they grab the pen, scribble their name, slide it along. Nobody wants to be the loud problem. Nobody wants to be singled out and put on a list. Mortgages, kids, rent. Everyone's just trying to survive corporate life. Clipboard keeps creeping closer to me. My heart starts thumping, not out of fear, out of this cold, steady anger that's been building for months. I think about all the extra hours I've given this place. Late nights fixing busted deployments, weekends spent patching emergencies while everyone else is at brunch. All the times I've helped juniors quietly because it's the right thing to do. No credit, no fanfare, just, yeah, I'll show you how to do that. And now I'm being told it's still not enough. Now I have to be forced into it on my own time, like I'm being assigned ideological community service. Guy next to me signs and slides the clipboard over. Pen and paper land right in front of me. Room goes weirdly quiet. I can feel eyes on the side of my face. Everyone knows I stopped participating in meetings. Everyone knows I've been keeping my head down. They're probably expecting me to just sign so we can all go home. Lauren's watching from the front with that same smug little grin, the grin of someone who thinks the game is already over. I pick up the pen, hovered over the signature line, and then I set it down. Pick up the clipboard without writing a thing, and I slide it calmly to the next guy. You could hear the silence change, like the whole room sucked in one huge breath without making a sound. Lauren's smile drops instantly, like someone yanked a curtain down. Her face goes pleasant to confused, confused to disbelief, disbelief to pure anger. She steps forward, voice goes low, sharp. I'm about to ruin you, tone. Mike, I don't see your signature. I look up and meet her eyes. That's correct, I say. My voice is steady, almost boring. Is there a problem? She asks, dripping threat. Yeah, I say. I'm not doing mandatory unpaid work on my personal time. Her cheeks start turning red. She's not used to anyone pushing back. She's used to people folding. This isn't about work, Mike. This is about commitment to our company values of equity and inclusion. Are you saying you don't share those values? There it is, the trap. Say no and you're a monster. Say yes and you're signing away your nights and weekends. We both know what she's doing. I don't bite. I'm saying I'm not signing that paper. I repeat, flat, calm, no speech. And that's when she blows up. The corporate mask doesn't slip. She rips it off and stomps on it. I cannot believe the arrogance, she yells. Voice echoes off the walls. Whole room goes statue still. After everything we've discussed about male privilege and active allyship, you choose to take this selfish stand? She starts pacing in front of the whiteboard, arms flailing like she's conducting an orchestra. This is exactly the toxic behavior this initiative is designed to address. The refusal to acknowledge your privilege. The unwillingness to do the bare minimum to support your female colleagues. She's basically screaming now, face red, jaw tight, eyes wide. Everyone else freezes, staring at their hands, at the table, at the ceiling, anywhere but at her or me. They look like hostages, praying the camera doesn't pan to them. She finally stops pacing and jabs a finger right at me. You know what? I'm done being nice. We're addressing this right here, right now. You are going to explain to this entire team why you think you're so special you don't have to participate. You are going to explain your misogynistic attitude to every single person in this room. She's standing there breathing hard, waiting for me to snap. She wants me to yell, wants me to get emotional, wants me to prove I'm the unstable, angry guy she's been selling to everyone. But the weird thing is, I'm not angry anymore. The anger already did its job and burned itself out. What's left is cold and heavy certainty. I scan the room. Half the people are staring at their shoes like they're afraid eye contact counts as participation. I see Rachel looking straight at me with this tight, pained expression. I see Gary stone-faced, like he's watching a car crash in slow motion. They deserve an explanation, not for Lauren, for them. I take a slow breath, push my chair back, stand up. Not giving this speech from a seated position like a scolded kid. All right, I say, voice cutting through the tension. You want an explanation? Fine, you'll get one. I look right at Lauren. This isn't the first time I've worked at a place that tried to roll out a progressive initiative like this. About 7 years ago, I was at a different company. I was younger, dumber, more optimistic. I actually believed the slogans. I pause, let the memory come back. We had a manager there who sounded a lot like you. Same buzzwords, same ideology, same obsession with sponsorship and amplifying voices. She constantly talked about giving women a leg up in tech. Then we hired a new junior dev. Call her Hannah. Smart, motivated, clearly capable. But she was getting chewed up by our code base. Big system, ugly legacy parts, the kind of thing you only learn by bleeding on it. Manager makes this huge show of encouraging senior men to mentor junior women. Not technically mandatory, just heavily encouraged. The kind where saying no makes you look like a villain. I took it seriously. I thought it was the right thing, so I volunteered to mentor Hannah. I start pacing a little, same way Lauren was pacing, not dramatic, just steady. My voice stays even. This isn't a tantrum, it's a report. For the next year, I poured time into her. Stayed late 2 or 3 nights a week, walking her through our server architecture. Spent lunches at the whiteboard, drawing diagrams so she could actually visualize data structures. If she got stuck, I'd hop on calls after hours to help her debug. Once, I even took a Sunday afternoon because she was panicking before a Monday deploy. I taught her everything I knew. Shared my personal code libraries, tools I built over years to make my own job faster. Little shortcuts and habits you don't get from college or boot camps. How to read logs properly. How to isolate a bug without thrashing. How to argue for a design choice without sounding like an idiot. Gave her my best, and she learned fast, soaked it up. Her performance shoots up. Manager starts praising her in meetings. Upper management notices. She becomes the shiny example. Look what happens when men become true allies. And honestly, I was happy for her, genuinely. Her wins felt like my wins, like I'd helped build something good. I pause, let that sink in. But here's the other part. At the same time, I was leading a massive project, my project, complete overhaul of our core backend. The big, ugly heart of the product that everything depended on. Most complex thing in the company at that time. I designed the architecture from scratch, not facilitated, designed. I lived inside that project for over a year, pulling 60-hour weeks like it was normal because I was aiming for a promotion, lead architect. That was the carrot. Hannah was on that project too. Junior role, small pieces, and I used it as a teaching tool for her. Walked her through decisions, explained why we chose one trade-off over another, showed her what clean looks like when the stakes are high. I wanted her to understand the why, not just the what. I stop pacing, look around the room. Everyone's locked in now. Fast forward to final presentation day, the big one, executive board. Go all, no-go decision for launch. Meeting set for 10 a.m. I get in at 6:45 to prep. Slides ready, demo ready. I'm proud of it. Tired, but proud. At 9:30, my boss calls me into her office. I walk in, and Hannah's already sitting there. She looks nervous, hands folded, doing the I'm innocent posture. My boss has this serious face, like someone died. She says there's been a misunderstanding about project ownership. She says Hannah came to her the night before, and Hannah is concerned. I'm planning to take sole credit for what Hannah described as a deeply collaborative effort she co-designed. I let the silence hang for a second. I was stunned. I say I explained I was the project lead. I said I'd credit the whole team, including Hannah, for their contributions, but the design and leadership were mine, because they were. Then Hannah starts talking. And it's like watching my own notes get read back to me. She uses the exact concepts I taught her, the terminology, the trade-offs, the rationale. She explains the architecture like she built it herself. And the scary part is, she sounds convincing, because I personally trained her to sound convincing. My boss nods along like she's hearing the truth. Then she drops the decision. She says, given the situation, and to make sure the presentation is free of interpersonal conflict, Hannah will lead the presentation to the board. Not me, the guy who created it. I protest immediately. Tell her it's my project, that I'm the one who should present it. And that's when the trap springs. Hannah's eyes fill up with tears, on command. She says she feels intimidated by me, says my aggressive project management style made her feel unsafe speaking up, says she's afraid I'll retaliate against her for asking for her fair share of credit. My boss looks at me like I just disappointed her personally, that fake, sad manager face. I have to take this seriously. We have a zero-tolerance policy for workplace intimidation. It's my duty to protect the women on my team. That was it. Case closed. She doesn't ask for my side, doesn't look at the project history, doesn't check commits, docs, anything. Her brain already picked the story it liked. Senior male dev crushing a rising female star. I get told to sit in the back during the exec presentation. Offer support if asked. Support, like I'm the intern. I sit back there and watch Hannah present my work, my deck, my diagrams, my architecture, to the executive board like she built the damn thing. They eat it up, standing ovation type energy, smiles, handshakes, great vision, all that. She gets promoted almost immediately into a senior position. I get pulled off the project. An official complaint goes into my HR file. Aggressive behavior, failure to foster a collaborative environment. My promotion? Denied. Obviously, my reputation at that company gets nuked overnight. I take a slow breath. I spent a year mentoring someone, giving them everything I had professionally. Late nights, weekends, my personal tools, my knowledge. And in return, they take my work, my promotion, my name. And they use the exact system my boss built as the weapon. A system supposedly designed to protect her, turned into a knife aimed right at me. My goodwill gets used to destroy me. I let that sit in the air. Then I look back at Lauren. My voice drops, quiet but sharp. You stand there talking about allyship and doing the work. I did the work. I was the perfect ally. And I got punished for it. I got betrayed. The shield you people brag about, it gets used as a sword. My jaw tightens, but I keep it controlled. I learned a hard lesson that day. Never put yourself in a position where your kindness can be weaponized. Never trust a system that values ideology over truth. And never, ever do free labor for people who don't see you as a colleague, but as a political symbol. I glanced down at the unsigned pledge sitting on the table. So, no, I'm not signing that. I'm not joining your program. I'm not doing mandatory unpaid mentoring. I will do the job I'm paid to do, and nothing more. You wanted an explanation. There it is. I pull my chair out and sit down. Silence lands like a heavy blanket. The kind of quiet where you could hear a pen roll on carpet. Lauren just stands there, frozen, face drained, almost gray. All the righteous fire is gone. Now she's slack-jawed, stunned. She expected a shouting match, expected me to lose it so she could point and say, "See?" She didn't expect a calm, factual, personal story that makes her look insane in front of everyone. She can't control the room anymore. And you can feel it. First person to move is Rachel. She clears her throat. Soft, but steady. "Mike, thanks for sharing that. I'm really sorry that happened to you." Simple sentence, but it hits hard, breaks the spell. Another senior guy, Nate, gives a slow nod. "Yeah, man, that's brutal." Lauren looks around the room like she's searching for backup, for one friendly face, for anyone to jump in and rescue her. She finds nothing. People stare at the table, or at me, or at their hands. No one meets her eyes. She's been publicly, thoroughly dismantled. Not with anger, with a quiet truth nobody wants to say out loud at work. Her little social experiment just blew up in her hands. She mumbles something incoherent, something about taking this feedback and we'll revisit. Then she basically bolts out of the room. Nobody moves for a full minute after she leaves. We just sit there, processing what just happened. Then, people slowly stand up, collect laptops and notebooks, shuffle out in silence back to their desks. No cheering, no high fives, just this grim, somber feeling like, finally, someone said it. Next morning, I walk in expecting an HR invite on my calendar. I'm sure my time here is done. I publicly defied and embarrassed a director. In most companies, that's career suicide, even if you're right. Spend that whole morning in full damage control mode, updating my resume, cleaning my personal stuff off my work laptop. Old tax PDFs, random photos, notes, whatever, figuring I'm about to get walked out like a criminal. Around 10:45, the email finally hits. Meeting invite, confidential discussion. My stomach drops straight into my shoes. Invite list makes it worse. Head of HR and the VP over our whole division. Yeah, okay, I'm cooked. I head up to the executive floor like I'm walking to the gallows. Carpet's nicer up there. Air smells like expensive cleaning products and fear. I step into a glossy conference room with a big glass table. VP's already there. Stern dude in his early 60s. Looks like he hasn't laughed since the Reagan administration. HR director's there too. Woman I've only seen a handful of times at company events. They motion for me to sit. I brace for the termination speech. The "this isn't working out" smile. But it doesn't come. HR director starts. Voice carefully flat. All business, zero warmth. "Mike, we received multiple reports about yesterday's department meeting. Several employees have filed anonymous complaints regarding the proposed mentorship initiative." My eyes widen a little before I can stop it. Complaints. Plural. So it wasn't just me. VP leans forward next. No fluff. Let me be blunt. What Lauren proposed was not a company-sanctioned program. It wasn't vetted by HR. It wasn't reviewed by legal. He looks me dead in the face like he's trying to drill through my skull. Forcing one gender to perform unpaid labor for the benefit of another isn't just bad policy, it's potential gender discrimination. It's the kind of lawsuit we would lose spectacularly. We don't pay lawyers 7 figures a year, so our own managers can manufacture liability. I just sit there, stunned. They're not mad at me. They're mad at her. HR director keeps going, same neutral tone. We also reviewed her performance since she took over. We've seen the project delays. We've seen the drop in morale. And now, these complaints. It's clear that, while she may have good intentions, her management style is not a fit for this team or for this company's risk profile. That's when it clicks. They're not defending her. They're building a file on her. My story isn't the whole case. It's the spark that lit up all the gasoline. My refusal forced the situation into daylight. VP relaxes back a bit and actually softens his tone. We appreciate you being candid, both yesterday and in your prior conduct here. You're a valuable technical asset. We want you to stay. He gestures at the HR director. This meeting is to reassure you the situation is being handled. The initiative is canceled, effective immediately. I just nod, because my brain is still catching up. Meeting ends like 5 minutes later. I walk back downstairs in a fog, like I'm floating. No firing, no punishment. I didn't lose. Somehow, I won. Justice, when it came fast and quiet. Week later, company-wide email pops up. Subject line full of fake enthusiasm. Exciting organizational updates. Turns out, Lauren is getting promoted. New title, Senior Strategist, Internal Culture Alignment, which is corporate for, we don't know what to do with you. They move her to a different building, tiny windowless office that used to be a storage room. No team, no direct reports, no real responsibilities, just research industry trends and produce strategic reports, aka write documents nobody will ever read. Corporate Siberia. Career graveyard. They don't fire her, because then she gets to sue and do the victim tour. Instead, they make her irrelevant. Pay her to disappear. Then the funniest part. They beg our old boss to come back on a temporary contract. Rick, out of retirement for the save. First thing he does is cancel the mandatory morning feelings circle, like immediately. Second thing is the office gets repainted. Goodbye teal and purple daycare walls, back to calm, professional gray. All the empower posters and dream work garbage come down. The atmosphere shifts almost overnight. Tension drains out of the place. People start talking again, laughing again, arguing about actual technical stuff instead of vibes. Productivity shoots back up like someone removed a weight from the engine. And nobody ever mentions Lauren again. Not in emails, not in meetings, not even as a joke. Like it was a bad dream we all silently agreed to bury. But something did change. I notice it in little ways. People listen when I talk now. Not because my code got better, but because they saw what happened. They saw me take a risk nobody else wanted. Say out loud what everyone was thinking and not fold. It's this quiet respect that just hangs around. A few days after Rick's back, I'm working late at my desk. Office mostly empty. Just keyboard noise and humming lights. Rachel walks over with 2 mugs of coffee. Doesn't make a big production of it, just sets one on my desk. I look up. Thanks, I say. She gives me a small, real smile. Anytime. Then she goes back to her desk like nothing happened. We both get back to work. Tiny gesture, but it hits harder than any promo or public praise. I take a sip, look at my screen full of code, and for the first time in months, I feel like I've got my peace back. And I didn't have to trade my dignity to keep it.